So what is periodization and why it is important to your training for progression? That's what I'm about to cover next, this topic. So periodization, what is periodization? Periodization is essentially going to be your roadmap or your Google Maps to get you to your goal, okay? And what is the fuel in your car is what's called progressive overload, okay? Progressive overload is what's giving your body the signal or the stress to adapt to the certain change that you want to see, okay? So that change could be strength, that change could be hypertrophy, which is muscle gain, or it can be endurance, okay? That's what progressive overload is doing. And there's a couple different ways that we can progressively overload. We can do it with volume. We could do it with intensity. So intensity in this context means load, okay? So that doesn't mean how hard we're working out, it means how heavy, okay? We could do it with rest periods, and we could do it with tempos, okay? And also even frequency, like how many times we're hitting a body part within a certain week, okay? So there is so many different ways that we can progressively overload the body to get to that certain adaptation or give your body a reason to change. But we're just going to focus on, two for today to make it simple. We're going to focus on volume and intensity, which for most people, if they're looking to gain muscle, that's really the only two that you really need to focus on is volume and intensity. Okay, so now that we got the periodization, progressive overload, we understand what those concepts are and what these things mean. Now we actually need so now we got the car, we got the gas. All right, so which direction are we gonna take? Are we gonna get on the highway, we're gonna bust a right, or we're gonna bust a left? So that's what's gonna come down to the type of model that you're gonna use. And the most popular ones is right now are linear and non-linear, okay? So this is giving you the direction now. So linear and non-linear, okay? So linear, what I want you to do is think of your training like 4-week cycles, okay? So you got 4-week blocks. So in a linear model, you're going to essentially be doing the same amount of reps every single workout, okay? So let me write this out to make it more simple. So say for 4 weeks at a time, every time you go in the gym, you're going to be doing 3 to 6 reps, okay? Because if your goal was strength, this is what you'll be doing. Because, people know, to get stronger, I got to lift heavier. Okay, cool. So we know that. So we're going to do 3 to 6 reps. We're going to lift a little bit heavier. The intensity, so the low, we'll say it's going to be 80% or a 7 RP, okay? So if that's the goal. And this is what you're going to be doing, this rep range, every single time you go to the gym, okay? Now where progressive overload comes into key, what you're going to be doing is making manipulations either week to week or bi-weekly to either the amount of sets that you're doing or the amount of reps that you're doing or the intensity, so the load, okay? So you could, to make this simple, week 1, say you start off at a 3x5 at a 7 RP, okay? And then by the time you get to week 4, you're doing a 4x5 at a 8 RP, okay? So that's a very simple linear progression scheme, although it's a very aggressive one. This is a form or version of that, okay? So you're sticking with one adaptation, strength in this context for a 4-week period. Non-linear, you're going to be doing 2 adaptations. So one day you'll be doing that 3x5 at a 7 RP, okay? And then the next day you go into the gym within that same week given, you could be doing a 3x12 to 15 reps, okay, at a 6 RP, okay? So one day you go in, you're doing a 3x5. The next day you go into the gym, you're doing a 3x12 to 15 reps at a 6 RP. So one is for strength, one is for hypertrophy, okay? And how you would progress this, you can do the same thing. On the last week, you're maybe doing that 4x8 So keep in mind, this is the 4th week, so you've already done progressions throughout the course of training. And then this one, maybe you're doing a 4 by 15 at a 7 at the end of that training period. Okay, so let's break this all down. Let's make this very, very simple. Okay, so what this is doing, this is ensuring your progression in training. So after the first 6 months or a year of training, when you get over the newbie gains or the quick progression, you have to be smart about your approach to training. You can't just go in the gym and just go willy-nilly, say, I'm gonna do some arms this day and then maybe some legs the next day or whatever it may be. That's not a good approach to training. You really need to have it well thought out. You need to think it through. You need to be months ahead. So what I always like to do is work backwards, okay? So what I like to say is, okay, so if our goal is to say we want to hit a 315 pound bench press, and we're at 275 right now, okay? And we want to hit it in 4 months. All right, so what does that look like every single month? So if 4 months from now I want to hit that, what do I already need to be at 3 months from now? Where I need to be at 2 months from now? Where I need to be at a month from now? And then you start to dive back. And whatever, direction you decide to go, whether it be a linear, if you just want to focus on the strength, that's a reasonable direction to go. If you want to add some muscle, because a bigger muscle is a stronger muscle, that's also a reasonable way to go. This is going to help decide the direction which you're going to go with that, okay? So you can go with some different training models, Now, progressive overload, this is going to tell us, what should we be doing with the volume, the intensity, to even get to that marker, okay? So that a month from now, maybe we're at a 295 bench press, and then another month, so 2 months right before the goal is done, maybe we're at like a 305, and then 3 months for 310, and then finally the 4th month for 315, or whatever it may be. Periodization is just planning, giving you that roadmap. So month to month of your training, you're planning it out. It's very systematic, and it's well thought out so that we can ensure we can get to our goals, okay? And you can use that for any type of training, whether it be you want to increase your movement capacity, whether you increase your endurance, you want to increase your strength, you want to increase your hypertrophy. Periodization is the key to those goals, all right? Hope you guys found this video useful. Let's start to get some periodization into your training. So let's go to a systematic approach of how we actually approach our training so y'all can see those glorified gains that we all want. All right, JC White at T3 Body. Again, guys, look out for these videos Monday, Wednesday, Friday.